Hi, everybody. Happy Sunday. It's Rogan. Two things to discuss. One of them is serious health related stuff. One of them is how cool Dragnet is. Uh, let me do that first before I rant and do all eight of you a favor. Um, I only got to one movie last night because I actually watched most of it. Dragnet 1966. Now, for one thing, uh, I was working on the list for 1969, and I had handwritten some notes. So I'm not sure exactly how a movie called Dragnet 1966 got on the list for 1969. It's a feature-length pilot for a relaunch of the show. It had been a TV show at least twice before. Before that, was a radio show. Jack Webb, who plays the main cop, Joe Friday, is the creative lead. He directs and produces and always has, and is an enormously talented writer and director. There's just no overrating Dragnet generally as a body of work. Now, 1966, the Dragnet relaunch in 1966 is where it feels like it's an old man coming out of retirement to take a big paycheck to get back together with the old gang and congratulate each other in public. It's just that kind of thing. It's not terrible. It's just a long episode of Dragnet from way late in the series. I mean, he's old. It feels like the work of old men. It's pleasantly dated, and Jack Webb never did bad work. There's a concise, clean clarity to Dragnet that is unlike anything else. It's this pristine amphetamine crispness that answers to the way one would hope police work on the behalf of the public operates when it operates right, the way the machine runs when it's humming smoothly. That's sort of what the point of Dragnet is. Jack Webb he was a musician, he was a jazz musician, and he was a brilliant director in terms of line readings and dialogue. Some of the radio show is amazing, and at its very best, I'm not sure without looking it up. I didn't look this up. I'm just going from memory. There's a stretch on the radio show where they're doing. Jack Webb at the beginning says that they're using real transcript as the basis for their script. And each show is half an hour long, and each half-hour episode is one long, uninterrupted interrogation scene. The premise is always that they're bringing the guy back in for one last interview, but they've got new evidence lined up, and they're going to make him crack. And so the structure of each one of these scripts is that the two cops are talking to the suspect. They circle around, everything gets explained, the context gets explained, and then they start honing in on the evidence and facts that are going to make this guy crack and confess he did it. It's brilliant writing, brilliant acting, brilliant directing. Understand, they're doing it live. So, like, not only is the half hour like one script, one scene, like it's just one interrogation scene at high tension the whole time for a straight half hour. The cast are watching the clock because they're lining it up with the end of the half hour. Like they've got like time code written in on their script, and they're slowing down and speeding up to make sure they nail their marks. Like, and they do a lot of fast talking on Dragnet. Like they did not fuck around with leaving spaces where you could fit words. So Dragnet as a body of work is brilliant. Jack Webb is really underrated filmmaker. He directed some features, but Dragnet, the TV show, and the radio show are what he'll be remembered for, and a couple other TV shows. And there's no overrating. There's no overrating him. Like I cannot recommend Dragnet highly enough. Now this relaunch pilot, Dragnet 1966, it's on YouTube. It's not where I'd start. It's okay. I did watch most of it. It's about a photography obsessed sex killer who films himself committing murders and then films himself watching the films of the murders he committed. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, that's all I got to watch last night, Dragnet 1966. And I recommend going back to the radio show. Listen to the old radio shows. Um, uh, there's playlists. It's all on YouTube. Um, the serious note I wanted to hit, yeah, and in part because when I talk about ending my own life in the face of my personal problems and health problems, I think I'm often misunderstood to be primarily, if not exclusively, speaking from a place of depression, of emotional malaise. And so, like, I'm not really in the mood to talk about this shit right now, but I thought I would, in part, to demonstrate that this isn't, like, it's not really about depression. Um, and it and it isn't really much of a point to make that isn't made by millions of people online and in other interactions every day, millions of Americans, that there's just no way to, my health problems impairing my ability to earn money, coupled with not having friends and family who are close enough to help me by sharing bills the right way, means I can't afford to live. I mean, it's a combination of factors. They've got the systems rigged in the United States right now. So uh, there's all kinds of ways you get excluded from being able to sign on to pay your own bills. It's almost impossible for one or even two people with incomes to be able to afford to split rooms. The rents are outrageous and they're getting worse everywhere. Uh, and And so, I was just annoyed with my roommates. I've been staying with two guys. They're brothers. They're really good guys. They saved my life. Like, they're charging me a ridiculously small amount of money to live here, and in return, though it's sort of unspoken, I'm doing a lot of housework and stuff. I would be doing it anyway, and they would just have an empty room, but they're charging me nominal rent. Uh, if I want to get pissed off and leave, well, I have to find another arrangement where somebody does me a huge favor. That's all I can do. If I had family who cared, maybe that would make a difference. And so, I say this because it's part of the background of me talking about ending my own life in the face of my health problems. Isn't just like I will never have fun again. It's I can't risk being completely homeless and then cracking completely under the stresses of institutional living or street living. Uh, it's just not worth the risks. I'm better off dead. So, like, that's just rational. Um, and so many of us are in this position. This is the American way now. This is how we live in this country. Uh, and like me having to get together with old friends and share bills with them and live in their house, like this is going on everywhere. I'm far from the only one under similar circumstances. But I did want to. I just got in a fight with my roommates a little bit. A little bit. It doesn't really matter. But I got annoyed and thought, like, what would be my line of retreat? Where would I move if I just bailed on Lima, Ohio, and just left town? Uh, and I don't have good options. Like, I don't even have good bad options. I don't really have options. Like, because anything at all, even being here, was a drastic, unprecedented move in life that took me and these guys taking a pretty big risk, personal level. Uh, because that's all I mean, and most people would have just stayed homeless in my position. I'm lucky I have a network of friends online who did in the end come up with a place for me to live. My my roommates Chuck and John really saved my life. But I kind of wanted to address these subjects, not like just on a day where I'm not in a snit. Like I get on the YouTubes and I talk about my problems and my health problems, uh, and wanting it all to be over. And I'm not sure that people really understand that's about half just reasonable and rational and common sense. There isn't a way to go forward that um, is less than onerous, to me and the people around me. Um, And this is common. It shouldn't be this way. That's how this country is. And there are places in the world where it's not that way. Um, in fact, there are places in the world that are third world countries where big parts of that mess don't work that way. Like healthcare, education. I mean, I can't go back to school either. Like they got the system rigged here. They got the tables tilted, all of them. Here, welcome to America. Um, so anyway, I recommend Dragnet. I recommend also, if you're American and you're young, leave now before your health goes. Don't even listen to what they say about insurance. Just leave. Make French friends, English friends, close friends. Go live with them. God bless and good luck.